to Free Grace Kids. We've got lots of exciting things for you today. We're gonna go to Puppet City and see what Beanie and his friends have going on.
Everybody, welcome to Free Grace Kids. Hi, Mr. Fix-It.
Hey, Beanie, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Look what I got.
What is that, Beanie?
Grandpa gave me a flower, that Pirate Pete kind of stepped on all my flowers.
Well, they did that for a craft last week, didn't they, with flowers?
Yeah, but Pirate Pete decided to do the craft in my flower bed, and he went out and stomped on all my flowers. But Grandpa gave me some new flowers to plant in my flower bed, and so I'm going to do that today. Hey, Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah, Beanie.
What's the verse that we've been talking about the last couple weeks?
Well, I got that right here in my Bible. That's my favorite tool, out of my toolbox is my Bible. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those called according to his purpose.
Remember, we talked about how good things and bad things can happen to us, and that we need to love God. And if we love God, then he can work even the bad things and the good things. And I remember that we took the flower and made a pretty picture out of it in craft time.
Yeah.
But Mr. Fix-It?
Yes.
Are we going to learn about the last part of that verse today?
Yeah, we sure are. Last week we talked about loving God. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Well, this week, according to his purpose, I found a purpose verse in the Bible. Let me read that to you, Beanie.
Okay.
It's in the book of Luke 10:27. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength.
Oh, that sounds like a good thing to do.
And with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself.
Oh, that last part can be kind of hard.
Well, that's a really long verse. Here's how I remember it, Beanie.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. Love God, love your neighbor. That's how I remember it.
Love God. That part's a little bit easier than the last part.
Loving your neighbor?
Yeah, especially when he stomps on your flowers.
Well, God still tells us to love our neighbor, and that's what we need to do, and we can do it with his help.
And if you do that, then he's going to make things work out all for good.
That's right. You were talking about even the bad things can work out for good.
Yep.
Well, this is a good example of it. We'll have to see how God does that, but he'll do it.
Okay, well, that's going to be a lot of exciting stuff to learn today, and I think we're going to start out with another great adventure with Eily and Eli, and they might even go into outer space on this one.
Oh, good. Let's go see.
Our NASA engineers are preparing a brand new spacesuit for our intrepid astronauts. Pilot Eily Jane, what do you think of this new spacesuit?
It doesn't seem to fit.
At mission headquarters, our astronauts prepare in a flight simulator. This simulator is designed to test their mission readiness. Commencing simulation. And now for the gravity simulating centrifuge. How much pressure can these astronauts handle before they will black out? The engineers at headquarters have produced another very interesting simulator that helps the scientists of NASA understand the effects of claustrophobia for long space flights. The effects, not good. This is Captain Eli Jack and pilot Eily Jane on the USS Kitchen Sink. Now, we're told that today's launch is out past Jupiter all the way to Neptune. Is that correct, pilot Eily Jane?
Yes.
All right. Well, I believe we're all ready, except we must remove the abort system. Now we are prepared for launch. Let's calibrate the linchpin mechanism. Command tower ready.
Go, go, go. Go, go, go. 3, 2, 1, launch.
All right, Eiley Jane, how was your mission to Neptune?
Good. I found some treasure.
Congratulations to these astronauts on a successful mission, and who could blame them for a little celebration at the end of a successful launch?
Hi kids! Thanks for joining us today. We're going to sing a few songs. Eiley, what do you have on your hat there? Or on your head there?
Some antennas.
Some antennas? Why do you have antennas?
Because I just made them to tell you that we're making bumblebees.
We're making honeybees today in craft time. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, should we sing some songs before we do that? Okay. We're going to sing a new song today. I bet you know it, but before we get to the new song, we're going to sing our verse song that we've been learning. So let's say our verse first before we jump into the song. So our verse is Romans 8:28, and it says, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God." Can you say the verse, Eiley? We know all things work together for good to those who love God. Okay, well, should we sing it? Singing always helps me remember things better. Are you ready?
Boop!
Oh, we've got a jumping bumblebee. All right, here we go. I guess it would help if I turned the guitar up. Here we go. All right. We know all things work together for good to those who love God. We know all things work together for good to those who love God. All right, should we do it fast this time? We know all things work together for good to those who love God. Good job. Our bumblebee keeps hiding it behind the fence, but maybe she'll come out for this next song. It's going to be a new song, and you got to be ready to stomp your feet. Can you stomp your feet, Eiley B? Stomp your feet. Oh, that was a good stomp. And clap your hands. Good. And run around. And jump off the ground. Whoa, that was such a big jump. It almost knocked the barn over. All right, are we ready?
Boop!
Okay, let's sing our next song, This Little Light of Mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Jesus is light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light. Now this is the part where you gotta get ready to stomp. Are you ready, Eiley? I will stomp my feet, I will clap my hands and shout, shout. I will run around, I'll jump off the ground and shout, shout. I will stomp my feet, and I will clap my hands and shout, shout. I will run around, I'll jump off the ground and shout, shout.
Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light, I'm gonna let him shine. Let him shine, let him shine, let him shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Was that fun? Say it loud so we can hear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to see Mr. Fix-It again, and I think we have a new neighbor we're meeting today. Thanks for singing with us.
Hey,
Hey,
are you Mr. Fix-It?
I am Mr. Fix-It. I was just trying to fix this part for a spacecraft.
Oh, good, 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 good.
What is your name?
My name Grog.
Grog?
Grog and me have something that needs fixing.
You have something that needs fixing. Okay. What is it?
Me computer broken.
Oh boy. Well, you know, I could fix this maybe if you could. I've got some tools there in my toolbox.
Oh, I need my mini computer fixed so I can look up recipe for making donuts. Me like donuts.
Oh, donuts.
You like
Okay.
donuts?
Yes, I like donuts.
Okay, you fix computer, me look up recipe, me make donuts. We both eat donuts together, okay?
Okay, well, you're going to have to help me. I've got some tools in that toolbox.
These
Looks like,
toolbox?
yeah, that toolbox right there, the Mr. Fix-It box.
Oh, okay.
It looks like I need a screwdriver.
Okay,
Can you-
me get you a screwdriver. Screwdriver.
Yeah, right there in that toolbox.
Screwdriver.
Well, Grog, that's not a screwdriver. I think this is a hammer, and its purpose is to hammer nails. I need a screwdriver.
Oh, well, you hammer nail into computer and fix it?
No, that would break the computer.
Oh,
I need a screwdriver.
Okay, no break computer.
Okay, look
Computer
again.
already broken. Screwdriver.
Look in there, there's a screwdriver in there.
Screwdriver, where's
Look real
screwdriver?
close.
I
I know you
what
can
a
find it.
screwdriver is. Let's see. Screwdriver.
Well, Grog, I don't. I've never used this for a screwdriver. This is a trowel for putting sheetrock mud on the walls.
Me like mud.
Well, I know you like mud. You look like a muddy guy there. But this isn't a screwdriver. Its purpose is to put sheetrock mud on the wall.
Oh, you use it to put in really big screws.
Well, I think you could use it for really big screws, but this is a small screw on your laptop. You think you could find me a screwdriver for small screws?
Oh boy. Screwdriver. What does a screwdriver look like? Screwdriver!
Grog, this is a chainsaw, Grog. This is used for cutting up trees.
Oh, we cut up trees.
Yeah, that's the purpose for this tool, is to cut up trees.
Oh, you know what my purpose is?
What's your purpose, Grog?
My purpose is to eat donuts.
Eat donuts? Well, that's probably why you want this laptop fixed, huh?
Yeah, that's why I want laptop fixed.
Well, see if you could find me a screwdriver. I think I can fix this thing.
Screwdriver. Oh, gee, what is this? Oops, me knocked things off the wall.
Okay,
let's
well.
see. Screwdriver. Is this a screwdriver?
Well, there you go, Grog. That is a screwdriver. Let me see. See how this fits right in here?
Me very smart.
Let me see if I can fix this laptop.
Mr. Fix-It,
Oh, I see the problem right here.
what is it?
The problem is your battery was in backwards.
Uh-oh, me do that.
Well, there, I fixed it. We'll see if it works.
Mr. Fix-It, what your purpose in life?
My purpose in life? Well, you know, my purpose in life is, you can find my purpose in life in the Bible. That's my favorite tool.
Favorite tool,
Yeah,
Bible?
my favorite tool is the Bible, and in the Bible, you can find a verse that talks about my purpose.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, you know, I've been talking with our other neighbor, Beanie, about Romans 8:28, about all things work together for good to those who love God
Me like Beanie.
and are called according to his purpose. Yeah, and so when I first started talking to Beanie, I had to talk to him about John 3:16.
What John 3:16, is that in Bible?
It is in the Bible.
What does it say?
Yeah, it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son,
God so loved world,
that whoever believes in him
believe,
shall not perish,
not perish,
but have everlasting life."
everlasting life.
Yeah, so to get everlasting life, you need to believe in Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you do that, then all things can work together for good to those who love God and to those calling according to his purpose. Now, my purpose in the Bible is found in Luke 10:27. Luke 10:27.
Luke 10.
Yeah. Here it is. Let me read it to you.
What does it say?
"You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind,
Love God.
and your neighbor as yourself." Yeah, and that's a good way to remember it. Love God,
Love God.
love your neighbor.
Love your neighbor. Me remember that.
Love God, love your neighbor.
Love God. Love your neighbor.
Yeah, that's my purpose. Let's see if we got this thing fixed.
You fixed it.
We did fix it.
Yay, Mr. Fix It. Me give you a big hug. Big hug.
Now, hold on there, Grog. Don't you know there's a virus going around and we're supposed to stay 6 feet away from people? Well, I'm not sure if you're a people, but I'm sure there's probably at least 6 inches that you're supposed to stay away from Grogs.
Okay, me not give you hug today. Come back tomorrow and give you a big hug.
Oh, look at the time, Grog. It's craft time.
Oh, me like craft time. Me like craft
You do?
time.
Do you like bees?
I like bees.
Well, there's going to be a craft time with Miss Krista and Miss Eiley, and they're going to do something with bees.
Oh boy, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Let's go see what they're doing.
Okay.
Hi, kids. Are y'all ready to do a craft with us? Eiley got an extra eyeball. She had antennas earlier. Now she has an extra eyeball. All right, Eiley, do you want to tell them what we're making today in craft time?
Making bumblebees.
We're making what? What? I can't hear you. Are we making bees?
Yeah, honeybees.
Honeybees. Cool. All right, so what do we need to make some honeybees?
We need some. You have to paint some of these. And
What are
then
those?
They're egg cartons. Cut them out.
Like this?
Yes.
Yeah, so take
Cut
an
'em
egg
out
carton.
like this, and then you can paint them all yellow.
Okay, what else
This
do we need?
yellow, finger paint yellow. Where's that yellow?
Oh, it's all right. This is yellow paint.
Finger paint yellow or a different kind of yellow that's better.
Okay, and what else do we need?
And then we need some eyeballs that I just had on my cheek right here. And then you can cut out some little wings like this.
Okay, we'll show you more about how to do that in a minute. What else do we need?
And then we need these.
What are those?
They're pipe cleaners.
Pipe cleaners, and I think black yarn would also work if you don't have any black pipe cleaners.
And they're really fat. If they don't work, you can use that.
Yeah.
Wait, Mama,
Okay, so what do we use to attach the eyeballs?
hot glue.
Hot glue, or we've got this glue dot, sticky dot thing, some kind of glue. And let's see. Oh, we draw a mouth on the bee. So what do we need for that? A
Permanent
marker. And we'll need some scissors as well. Okay.
Ask your mom to cut it and do this and this.
Yeah,
so
there's
you
a
don't
few
hurt
things
your
that you might need some
self.
help. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. Yeah, so Eiley told you we already painted these yellow because it takes a while for it to dry. So we cut some out and we painted them yellow yesterday. So what should we do next? Are you growing more eyeballs? All right, what should we put on the honeybee next?
Eyeballs first.
Eyeballs. Okay. Let me help you with some glue here. All right. Here you go. Now, Mr. Fix-It was talking about purpose. Did you hear him talking about purpose? He was talking about how God has given us a purpose. Let me get some more glue. And did you know that God has a purpose for bees?
They make honey.
They do make honey. Do you know what else they do?
And they grow more flowers when they connect nectar.
Yes, that's true. They get the nectar. You gonna draw a smiley face on it? You can do it. So when they're doing that, they don't even realize it, but they are pollinating all of the different flowers and vegetables, and that's what helps us grow our food and our pretty flowers and everything. So bees are really, really important because they can't grow if the bees don't help pollinate them. All right.
Look at this cute smiling face.
Okay, next, should we do the pipe cleaners? All right, so what we did to help these stay on better is we cut, we cut two just little slits here, and then we do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now you can, just kind of wrap it around that first slit inside. And the cool thing about pipe cleaners is you can bend them so that they'll stay on there. We don't have to glue them on. There you go. And then we want to wrap it to the same slit on the other side. Okay, and then go back to the other side on that slit. Uh-oh, we lost an eyeball. Let me add some more glue. Is it right there?
Yeah.
Ooh, we got a little goofy looking. Okay, so yeah, we want to get this one in the second slit we did, and then wrap it around. There we go. Gotta make sure it gets over the top. There we go. Good. Okay, and then our pipe cleaner is a little longer than we need it to be, so we'll just trim it. Okay, next we need some wings. Do you want to cut them or do you want me to?
I'll try and cut.
You want me to draw them for you and then you can cut on the lines? Okay, so what we do is we fold a piece of paper in half, and then we're gonna draw the wings on it. So you kind of do a horseshoe shape or like a U.
Front of a shoe.
Yeah, horses have shoes and it's kind of that shape. Well, just like Mr. Fix-It was saying, God has a purpose for us, just like he has for the bees. Did you hear what Mr. Fix-It told us our purpose is? Watch your fingers when you're cutting. Be real, real careful. Our purpose is to be loving. We need to love God and we need to love our neighbors. Oh, you did a great job cutting those out. You want me to help a little bit? Or is it?
Good, I got it.
Okay. So we are almost done with our little bee here. You singing us a song? Now don't cut them apart. We want to keep them together. Don't cut the fold line. Good job. Okay, so we kind of refold it to where it's a little bit crooked instead of folded just right together. Let's see, so we kind of move them apart like that and fold them. And then we need to put them on the bee. Cute! Now you have a little bee. So you can make your bee, and your bee can be a reminder that God has a purpose for us, and it's to be what? What's our purpose? To be loving. All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks for crafting with us today, and we will see you next week. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Mr. Fix-It, I really like that craft. Didn't you like that
Yeah,
craft?
I like that craft a lot about bees.
Hey, Mr. Fix-It,
Yes.
I asked Pirate Pete what his purpose was in life.
Yeah, what
And
do you say?
he said his purpose in life was to let other people love him and give them all his candy, or give him all their candy.
Well, that might be his purpose, but that's not what God's purpose is for him.
No, it's sure not.
yeah.
What did we learn about our purpose in life today, Mr. Wendy?
Yeah, well, it came out of Romans 8:28, and that's the verse we've been talking about the last 2 weeks, and today, so 3 weeks. We know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those called according to his purpose. Remember the first 2 weeks ago, we learned that good and bad things can be used by God to help you.
That's right. I learned that lesson.
Yeah. And then last week, we learned about what loving God means. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments.
That's important to love God. And what did we learn today?
Today, we learned about God's purpose for us. Love God and love your neighbor.
Love God and love your neighbor. That's a hard one, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, that could be a hard one. You know, I was talking to our neighbor Grog. Have you met Grog?
I have. I like Grog. He's funny.
Well, he brought down a part that needed fixed, and he was handing me tools out of my toolbox. You've seen my Mr. Fix-It toolbox.
I have. I like your toolbox.
Yeah. Well, each tool in the toolbox had a purpose to fix things. That was the tool's purpose, to fix things. But each tool fixes things a little bit differently.
Oh, kind of like different people do things differently?
Yeah, that's right. So if you want to be a tool in God's toolbox, he can use you to love God and love your neighbor, but he'll use you just a little bit differently. Each person works just a little bit differently. You might have different neighbors to love, and you might love different ways.
That's a really good lesson to learn. And another thing I remember you shared with Grog was a verse from John. What was that verse?
Yeah, that's my favorite verse. Let me read that one to you. John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. You know, that's my favorite verse. Oh, and by the way, Beanie, what was your purpose?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but it has something to do with loving God and loving other people.
Well, you know, maybe we ought to talk about John 3:16 some more.
I would like that because it talks about God loving us, and I want to learn more about that.
Well, maybe next week we'll talk about John 3:16. That might be a good verse for us to talk about.
That sounds great. Do you kids want to come back next week and learn about God's love for us?
I'll bet they do, and Grog probably wants to learn. I hope Pirate Pete would want to learn.
Oh, he could really need to learn about that.
He sure can.
Okay, well, we'll be back next week and we'll talk about God's love for us.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye-bye. See you
Bye.
next week.